All right. Welcome, one and all, to the Off the Rails Sports Podcast. I'm your host, John. And if you could kindly hit that like and subscribe button, it means a lot to us. You know, I tell you what, we had some really good discussions yesterday with Brian and with Scott. You know, I tell you, you don't have to listen to me. I'm just doing nightly sports recaps, but those guys know their stuff. Honestly, I don't know what they're talking to me for. Those guys are smart on smart. And I will tell you this. If you listen to the podcast, you will hear something you don't hear anywhere else. I'm not going to say it's going to be transformative or whatever, but I learned something every day. I did. I learned stuff. I learned every time I talk to Scott about NASCAR or Brian about baseball. Literally, I go, wow, I never really heard that before. It's kind of amazing. Listen, you'll find out. And like I said, leave some comments, hit like and subscribe, whatever it is. All right, let's off and run. Let's get to the NBA and the association. And the Denver Nuggets, who were tied 1-1 going into the game, finally got home. They won an OT thriller against the OKC Thunder, 113-104. Williams for the Thunder had 32 points. Jamal Murray, 27. And SGA is going to win the MVP. But you saw where Jokic is. At the end of the game, he literally can just work it on down to the blocks, and he either passes or he scores. I mean, he literally, you collapse on him, it doesn't matter. He had a great pass to Gordon at the end of regulation where he got fouled by Holmgren, but he was trying to dunk it. But, I mean, it was just three guys that collapsed on him, and he somehow got the pass over to Gordon. And honestly, I was surprised Gordon didn't get the dunk, but, it is what it is. OKC had a chance to win this game in regulation. They didn't. We'll see what happens. They were a huge favorite going into the series, minus 800. Now you start to get a little worried. We will see what happens on Sunday. Back in well, it's not Mile High anymore. But in the Denver's home. I just love Jokic. He literally, I hate to say this, he is my favorite. He's Larry Bird on steroids. Larry Bird was by far my favorite player ever. I really think he's a top 5 player ever. I know he is. I don't really care what anybody says. I will always say he's the best player ever. Yeah, I know. There's Jordan, there's LeBron. Yeah, I can't argue with the numbers. I'm not. But Larry Bird, if he was in this era, he would be even more magnificent. He would be even more transcendent because he would be shooting 12 threes a game, But you can't go back in the Jerry West could probably say the same thing, right? We also had another game in the association, the Cleveland Cavaliers, 126-104 over the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are still up 2-1, just like Denver's up 2-1. Cleveland just put their foot on the gas. It was a team we hadn't seen in Cleveland where they lost both games. Devon Mitchell, what a game, 43 points. Welcome back to the series. They took it. This game was never really in doubt. And you start to wonder, is game 4 make or break? And I hate that stuff because it's just, I really think the winner of game 4 is going to win this series. I really do. And today, we're going to have my Celtics playing the Knicks. And man, they're up against it. If the Knicks can pull 1 out of 2 here in the Garden, we're in some trouble. And Jason Tatum, he's a great player. He really needs to show up today. And Jalen Brunson, I wouldn't mind if you do too. And Porzingis, I hope you get some flu medicine or whatever's keeping you under the weather, because we sure as hell need you on the court. We need you on the blocks. We need your defense. I'm getting tired of seeing these guys go to the hoop. All right, let's talk about the National Hockey League. The Panthers beat Toronto, the Toronto Maple Leafs, 5-4 in overtime. This series, I thought Florida was going to walk through it. I really did. I thought they were going to win in gentleman's sweep 5, maybe 6. Toronto's the better team in this series. Yeah, I know it's 2-1. I know. I've been watching the games. Tavares was wonderful. I don't know where Austin Matthews is, but Tavares had 2 goals. It's one of those games. They lost in overtime. Marchand, a goal for Florida. Boy, what a nice pickup that was at the trade deadline. Reinhardt, a goal and an assist. They played good. They played really, really good. But I was surprised. I thought at this point in the series we would see the physicality of Florida start to dominate Toronto, and that does not, in my eyes, it does not seem to be going down. I don't know why. I didn't think Toronto was that physical. I kind of honestly put them more on a finesse type of thing. But man, they are standing up to Florida. Now, does Florida eventually wear them down? Is this the watershed moment where they break through and then maybe run out 3 out of 4? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I am very impressed with Toronto. I really wish before this series I had picked them instead of Florida. But, you know, we are what we are. The Jets, coming back from a Game 1 loss at home, blanked the Dallas Stars 4-0. Their exquisite goalie, Hellebuck, had 21 saves. It was magnificent. He controlled the game. It was never in doubt. After the first period, we all knew who was going to win. And we shall see what the future brings, right? I am really interested in seeing how Edmonton, going home, deals with Vegas. They're up 2-0. They can really they literally could sweep this series. I didn't think that was possible. Scott called it. Scott picked Edmonton to win the cup. Kudos to him. I had Colorado. I'm still smarting from that. I still think they're the best team in the NHL, but at the end of the day, scoreboard, Jay, scoreboard. Edmonton looks really formidable. Really formidable. All right, let's go and talk about what's going on, what went on Friday night in the MLB package. Seems like the Pirates finally got a much-needed win. You know, doesn't that always what happens when you fire the coach? And it really wasn't the coach's fault. We know Ben Cherington. If you listen to the podcast, Brian was talking about, we know Ben Cherington, if he's given resources, can really build a team. And he's right. He can. I just don't think he's been given the resources. But I did see something really interesting. And they were talking about the equality in the central of both leagues. And honestly, there's nobody who really spends money in either one. And that's kind of weird, right? Like in the NL West, it's a murderer's row. Everybody's spending money. Why is nobody in the central of either division really spending any money? I don't know. Don't just tell me it's the cities because, you know, Chicago, the Cubs spend a little money. I'm not going to say they don't, but I think the Ricketts family isn't exactly doing justice to what the fans deserve, but whatever. And Reinsdorf, he's been criminal with the White Sox. You know, he's just incompetent on incompetent, but we'll see. The Pirates have such a proud tradition, kind of like St. Louis in my humble opinion, and they're just not getting a team worthwhile. But because they are in such a crap division, I guess they're going to be semi-competitive. I guess. But, you know, it's really, you start to wonder how long till they trade Paul Skeens. Are they just going to push him until his arm blows out? I mean, really, why even really pitching? You should be pitching that guy every 6th day. You shouldn't be pitching him every 5th day. Why put the wear and tear on his arm? Save the bullets. I remember David Cohn. He went on the DL and he came back and he did 1, 2, or 3 inning start at, you know, Columbus or wherever it was. And they said, "You're going to do another start?" He goes, "No, I'm going up to the majors." He goes, "I only got so many bullets in my arm." And that's true. We have to remember that one, especially when it comes to the pitchers. Skubal pitched a magnificent game against the Rangers. They won 2-1. Skubal and Mize are truly the best 1-2 combination in baseball. They are lights out. I'm telling you, mark it down now. That team is a World Series threat with those two at the top of the rotation. Injuries come, injuries go. But if they are healthy, watch out in the playoffs. Cardinals beat the Nationals 10-0, like a football score. The Rays, 4-3 over the Brewers. Finally got a win there. God bless them. The Mets beat the Cubs. And how good was that Clint Holmes signing? He was a long reliever. He was a relief pitcher for the Yankees. He wanted to become a starting pitcher, and the Mets took a chance on him. And, man, it's paying off in spades. He is a solid frontline starter, 5-1 with a 2.7 ERA. There is truly one of the great free agent pickups of last offseason. In the midst of the Juan Soto thing, the Holmes thing was maybe just as productive, if not more. The Guardians beat the Phillies 6-0. The Royals, who are literally the hottest team in baseball, 11-1 in the last 12, beat my Red Sox 2-1. God, they are good. They are playing. Cruz got the win for Kansas City. I don't even know who that cat is. God bless him. The White Sox finally got a win. I guess eventually if you play the Marlins, somebody's got to win or not lose. They won 6-2. The Astros beat the Reds 3-0. And I did see that, well, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll save that for Brian on Monday. The Twins beat the Giants 3-1. Kind of nice there. Padres dominated the Rockies 13-9. And at some point, man, can we just get rid of that ownership? I didn't really bring it up with Brian yesterday, but I was doing some analysis, and the Rockies are actually drawing really, really well. 19,000 on a weekday game. They're drawing really well, outdrawing the A's, the Rays, the Angels. I mean, wow. And they're that terrible. What a good fan base. And what a shitty ownership. You know, at some point, you owe something to your team. They're not getting it. Talking about crappy teams, let's talk about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, who are the province of California. Whatever Artie Moreno can do to squeeze a couple bucks out of the LA Times, F him and F him. The Orioles won 4-1. Brian and I talked about it yesterday. I think the Oriole season is stuck. I mean, really, if their hitters aren't hitting, they got no chance. They are DOA. And in truly the most exciting game I've seen in quite a while, the Dodgers were down late. 3-run homer by Ohtani in the ninth. They win 14-11 over the D-backs. What a win. It was a playoff type game. Both teams were trying desperately to win. Arizona wanted to send a message to LA, and LA said, yeah, F you. We're sending you a message. We're the bad boy in this division. Come and get us. Blue Jays beat the Mariners 6-3. And finally, we had the Yankees win at the Athletics. I mean, 10-2. Hello? I mean, if you see that stadium, man, that's like Kids Club at Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. All right. That's it for sports. That's our Friday recap. I hope you have a good Saturday. Watch some of that great NBA. Watch some of that great NHL. I can't wait to see Edmonton and Vegas get it on. And if you could, hit like and subscribe. We always love your comments. And then we'll see you soon on Off the Rails.